What is the dumbest war in history?
Removed. The Roman Emperor Caligula declared war on the sea and ordered his men to collect seashells as spoils of war.
Removed.
Depends what you mean by dumbest. World War I is probably the dumbest. A series of alliances had grown up as a result of some general great power chess playing in Europe. The motivations of all the parties were confused at best. A single assassination set it off, pulling the great powers into a massive conflagration due to their treaty commitments, and then an entire generation of young men died in trench warfare while everyone experimented with the new weapons systems made possible by recent technological advances. When the war ended, even the surrender was stupid. They made Germany sign a war guilt clause and pay reparations that led directly to conditions that gave rise to Hitler, the Second World War, and the Holocaust. It's honestly probably the greatest example of human collective stupidity ever experienced. The city of Husker was at war with Denmark for 172 years because they forgot they were at war. Removed.
The war between Denmark and Canada over Hanzo, an island in the Arctic. 0 casualties, but soldiers from both countries took turns claiming the island with flags and leaving booze for the other team. It went on for years and was only resolved recently.
Didn't the Florida Keys secede, declare war and capitulate in like, an hour? The Conch Republic?
Caligula's war against the sea deserves a mention here.
Football war, or 100-hour war, between El Salvador and Honduras.
Off the top of my head, the Emu War.
The War of Jenkins' Ear, 1739 to 1744, fought between Britain and Spain. 25,000 to 35,000 dead on both sides in a war started because some guy got his ear cut off. I know it's more complex than that, but it does at least have the dumbest name. War on drugs.
The Pig War. Okay, this one's not really a war since no one died and no battles were fought, but it was dangerously close to being US versus Britain round 3. The War of Jenkins' Ear was a 9-year campaign that started when a British boat captain got his ear cut off by the Spanish Coast Guard.
Ohio/Michigan War of 1835 to 1836 to decide who would have to take Toledo. Ohio lost. Some of this info here is true.
The Anglo-Zanzibar War. Lasted about 45 minutes, resulting in a single British soldier wounded and 500 Zanzibari killed or wounded.
The War of the Pig. A pre-Civil War U.S. Army versus the British Navy, almost started fighting because a farmer didn't properly fence his pasture, and shot a pig that made its way in.
The Lobster War in 1961, France and Brazil at war for 3 years over lobsters. The Vietnam War. They sent kids into the jungle to die for nothing.
Removed.
The very famous Every War,